Here he is. Hi.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you. We were talking today. I mean, this has been quite. I mean, it's a great ride for you. But how about the finish? For you to have to watch and just, I mean, watch this ball club play as well as they are. But it's got to be excruciating some nights.
Well, this ball club's won all those one-run games, right? Those are the ones that really make
and
me
the
nervous.
extra innings, 16 straight extra innings.
And you know, they're tight games. They're very interesting, but we've been able to win them. We got a great bullpen.
They have gotten it done. How are you feeling tonight? Now here we are, 162. We're watching this game and keeping an eye on the Red Sox Yankees.
Well, I would have felt a lot better if the Red Sox held that lead last night because we really want to win the division. But we've got a chance to control our own fate here if we win the ball game. And you know, we've had a great year, and you know, the fans have shown a lot of love to the team, and I think the team has finally turned the corner where the fans know that they're going to see a good ball club day in and day out at Camden Yards, and I think that's the real story of the season.
Yeah, I get this question: did you anticipate this club, talking about me as a broadcaster, to be this good? How about you?
Well, I didn't know if we could be this good, but I knew we had some really good everyday ball players that were coming back, and they should improve because of their age. And Adam Jones has had a great year. Wieters had a great year. Chris Davis stepped forward. He hit 30 home runs, and I thought if we got some pitching, we could be very, very competitive. And we got Chen, and when we got Hamill, they helped us get a good start. And then Chris Tillman and Gonzalez came up from the minors. And the real staple all year has been the bullpen, anchored by Jimmy Johnson. They've been great since day one.
And that had to be a bit of a surprise because coming into the year, I mean, Jim Johnson was not necessarily going to be the closer in this ball club, right?
Well, I think that he had the experience as a starter, and he showed last September that he could be a good closer. And you know, Buck really gives a lot of confidence to these guys, and the way he uses his bullpen, I think, helps us win a lot of games and gives the players confidence. And early in the year, they did the job, and they, you know, stabilized the team. And you know, you see Jones's growth as a ball player come into his own with 30 home runs. You see Wieters come into his own the second half of the season and become an RBI man, show patience at the plate, and Davis develop. You know, I mean, the fans have something to look forward to. I mean, those guys are all 26 years old.
Yeah, I think we've been talking for really months now about how for the first time in the American League East that now all of a sudden we have marquee players at positions where it used to be other ball clubs.
Exactly, and we brought up Machado, and he's got a chance to be a really fine ball player. So we have shown the fans that we can sustain this, I believe. And you know, the key to that will be having some decent pitching, but the pitching is pretty young too. I mean, Tillman come up the second half of the season, and he's shown that he can pitch. Gonzalez has done a good job. Chen is just 26 years old. We have Hamill back for next year. Steve Johnson did a terrific job. I mean, he came up from the minor leagues. He's just 24 years old.
Well, your minor league guys, when you talk about Gonzalez, Tillman, Britton, and Johnson, something like 30 and 17.
Yeah, they've done a great job. And the other starters that are now in the bullpen, Tommy Hunter and Mattis, they're doing a good job in those jobs, and they're relatively young too. So
at least we forget Bundy.
Well, we have Bundy and Kevin Gausman on the horizon.
And then Arrieta.
Upton flied out to left field his first time up. Runner at first base. He'll inside out that one to right field, not deep. Davis coming in. And will make the catch. Chris does make things interesting in right field.
Yeah, he's very interesting.
But he is very, but for a big guy that hasn't played out there a lot, he actually is very agile.
He's very agile, and his arm is a big asset. You saw that throw he made last week when he shot the runner at third base.
Well, even more so in Fenway when we need him to pitch a couple of innings.
Yeah.
There you go. Is that
That's
hard
how
to
you
believe?
strengthen the bullpen. You did a great job strengthening the bullpen.
Is that hard to believe? That was early May when we played that.
Well,
17
that was a great moment, though. But Chris did something that only he and Babe Ruth are famous for, right?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Got a win as a pitcher and hit a bunch of home runs.
Little like that. Here's Zobrist up, runner at first base. Final question for you, Dan. Is it getting things back together as an organization? How do you feel? I mean, there was concern that things weren't being done at the different levels in the same way.
Well, we've made great strides in our organization. We've improved at the big leagues, 25 games this year, more than any other ball club. You'll see a consistent and intelligent training program in the minor leagues, and you're going to see a steady stream of players coming up here to help the ball club. I mean, that's where our players are going to come from. And we've got some good scouts. We've got some good player development people, and you know, we've got really good leadership there in Buck Showalter. And you know, I think that the Oriole fans are going to see a good team for several years to come.
Okay. Dan Duquette, who's the executive vice president, baseball operations, joining us here for this inning. We really appreciate it and look forward to seeing you a lot more in the month of October.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I enjoyed it. And thanks to our fans for supporting us for the season. We really appreciate it.
All right. Dan, thanks very much.